Hi, everybody. Sorry I'm a little bit late. I had to run around quickly and do a couple of things. Also, I had to get all the winners, or not the winners, but the guys that have been entered into the draw and the people that have been into the draw. I had to get all the names ready for you guys so that we can do the draw a little bit later. Now, to all everybody that is tuning in from the tickets, we're going to be doing the draw at the end of the show. So stay tuned. I want you guys to also experience what Cricket Fanatics Mag is all about and what we do on this channel. So it would be nice if you guys could stick around and watch the show before we get into the competition draw, which will happen a little bit later. But before we get going, before we get started with this particular show, we're obviously going to be speaking about the SA players that have stepped up in this tournament so far. I think that they need to get some recognition for how they've started this competition. And we're going to chat a little bit about that. And I'm going to bring on a person to come help me out, someone that you guys are familiar with now in the live chat, Kelly. She's going to be joining me on the show as well and giving me her insight into the game and the SA20s and the things that are happening, etc. But before we get going, before we get started, please, there's a couple of things that I would love you guys to do. Please download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. The latest issue is on Tristan Stubbs. So please, and a lot of other people as well. On Delay, there's a feature on him too. So go and download this magazine. It's 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. Please click on the link on the screen and in the description. Now, obviously, guys, the link is not live, so don't be tapping your screen to click. It's just on the screen for you guys to see if you want to write it down. I know there's some people that asked me if it was live, so that's why I'm explaining this to you. We do live in a world where people sometimes don't use common sense. So and I know that's a little bit maybe dissing some people for that, but okay, it is what it is. Um, then I would also like you guys to become a patron and help us grow and promote South African cricket. This is our number one income source at the moment is our Patreon account. So please get involved with our Patreon account. It's how we keep everything up and running on this channel. It's how we keep everything up and running with regards to our digital mag, our website, etc. So please become a patron today. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. The aim with this Patreon money down the line is when we start making a profit with or making a turnover with the money that you guys are giving us on Patreon, we want to give it back to the community. We want to do things with Cricket Fanatics magazine to change cricket in South Africa. So please get involved with that. Also, smash the like button, comment, and share. It's very important that you do so too. Remember that we are watching the game as well at the same time. The current game that is happening at the moment in Kabeja. We do have a journalist over there. Something terrible happened to him this week, so he's going to try to get the piece out tomorrow morning. So because the game ends so late, we think it would be better if he gives his perspective, because we are trying not to give like these regular boring match reports. We want the actual journalists, etc., to be able to give us their experience of being at the SA20 at the different grounds around the country, because I can't go to every single ground in the country. Tickets are expensive for plane tickets, so it's not very easy for me to go to every single ground. I'm going to try to go where majority of the games are being played. So please go ahead and do so. And read our pieces and support us on that in that manner. So you go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for features, for our takes on the game and the vibe at the stadium of each ground. We also have someone that's helping us out in Durban. He had his debut this morning. He put his piece up, so please go follow that and go read that and see how he's done. And give him a nice thumbs up and a comment on Facebook, because Facebook is our biggest platform. We've got over 18,000 followers on likes on Instagram. On Facebook. And I would like you guys to please follow us there, because that's our main source to our website. Everybody gets involved in comments on Facebook. It's actually our number one platform at the moment. So please help us over there too. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. I'm looking forward to discussing things about the SA20 and the players that stepped up with Kelly, of course. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host, Khalid. This is my co-host today, Kelly, and today we're going to
Hi,
be
guys.
today we're going to be chatting about the players that have stepped up at the SA20, as well as we're going to be giving tickets away for the two games that are happening at Newlands and Paul tomorrow, Friday, of course. So stay tuned for the end of the show to see who are the lucky winners. If you tune in over here, you will be able to see that. So let's get straight into the discussion, Kelly. First and foremost, how's it, Rajesh? Rajesh, hi, bro. How's it, Khalid? Missed you at Newlands on Tuesday. I was there. It's just that I was running around like a mad person. You guys need to look for me in my black Cricket Fanatics t-shirt. You'll see it. It says crew at the back. There are three of us walking around at Newlands. So you'll find us there. Maybe I'll get you on Friday, bro. If you're going to be at the game. Aditya is saying Markram. Cool. Okay, so let's get straight into today's video. Let's have a chat a little bit. So far, Kelly, what has been your assessment of the game so far and of the players that have played so far? Who has been the standout person for you? What's impressed you the most?
100% Donovan Ferreira. Of the two matches, I thought his innings was exceptional. I also, on the flip side, I also thought that there was some shocking decision making and towards the death in the batting in the second game. I believe it was the second game, in sending not sending Matthew Bretsky in earlier because he's been finishing so well for the Warriors, and sending him behind Chemo Paul.
Mm.
So I mean that's a highlight and a low light, and then obviously Dewald Brevis played a brilliant innings as well.
Mm.
But what did surprise me was their choice of attack against him, because Paul Rolls do have paces at their disposal. They've got Evan Jones, I believe, didn't
Yeah.
play, and Corbin Bosch didn't play,
Yeah.
and Brevis isn't strong against the short ball, and they played a very spin and heavy attack. Two quality spinners, don't get me wrong, but he plays spin very well.
Mm-hmm.
But they almost play directly into his hands.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, you play the team that's in front of you, and it was still a brilliant innings. It was really impressive the way he went about it. It was mature, much better shot making selection than he was, doing before. There was one rash shot against Risco Adams that he almost got out to. That was the only real short ball that he almost hit straight to. I think it was a mid. It was to cover something, but he just mishit that one, and that was the only. I think that was the only real mistake he made. But in other instances, it was very very mature. I was quite impressed with that. But I
Mm-hmm.
do want to see him tested against quicker bowlers.
Yeah. So if we look at the top scorers so far in this tournament, I know there's only been one match played, but it's good to see that Donovan Ferreira, Quinton de Kock,
Mm.
Brevis, David Miller, Ryan Rickleton,
Yeah,
all of these guys sitting over
I
here on the
actually,
run scoring run.
I
So
actually after sorry, you're making me remember Rickson and Quinton now, and I forgot totally about them after Donovan and Brevis.
yeah, it's crazy because their
It is
particular
crazy.
performances was insane. I mean, it was good to see
Yeah.
Quinny in action and the way he performed, because I made a little joke on Twitter. I said that because he was caught on the video, obviously crushing jelly beans on the table next to Faf when Faf was answering questions, and people were like, "What is Quinny doing?" So I made a little joke on Twitter, and I said, "No, he was just training his fine motor skills. Look at that performance right there that he put on." So it's good to see that the batters are performing, and as you can see on the screen over here, these are the top scorers so far in the tournament. There's obviously a game happening at the moment. Uh, Surprisingly, Pretoria Capitals 3 down very early, but we'll see what Mr. Salt and Mutasami do. And because Mutasami is a very good batter, he mustn't be underestimated, especially in these conditions that he's currently playing in, Kelly.
Which Simons?
No,
Sorry, who did you mention?
Mutasami. Mutasami
Mutasami.
and
Oh no, yeah, Mutasami shouldn't be underestimated, not in these conditions. But there
mm,
was actually something in it for the seamers in this sort of weather, because that ball that got Tianis de Brain out from Bartman nipped back a little bit. So there was some movement.
mm,
And the pitch in PE is not, people traditionally think it's going to take spin more than it actually does.
Okay.
Um, I've seen Pacers do really well there. I mean, you've seen test matches there where Rabada's taken 13 wickets and Steyn has reverse swelling. It's You can do well bowling spin or seam. I mean, it's just about how to execute it. Like John Smith should also be a threat if he playing in Port Elizabeth or Gqeberha.
Hmm.
So it's yeah, it's something that should suit me to Sammy, but then it's not gonna not suit guys like Marco Jansen who bowled well there and Cici Magala as well.
Hmm.
Excellent.
Yeah.
He bowled a very, 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 very good first spell as well.
Hmm. Because I think the swing as well plays a big part
Mm.
as well on this particular ground. And obviously, bowlers that can bowl Yorkers, it doesn't matter what the condition is, they're going to give any batter a problem. Like for example, Sasanda Magala, he nails his Yorkers unbelievably. So he's a very good bowler, and I've always said that. It's only really had fitness problems, unfortunately, and otherwise you'd be probably playing for the Proteas already. So it's very interesting to see how he's going to perform in this match. He's done well so far, of course, against the Pretoria Capitals. Wh-
Yeah, he has. But obviously the off and on nature of this match is, I mean, it's just started, like drizzling here again. Rain tends to not stick around in PE, but I think they're going to start losing overs now. Um, I think they've just gone off actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look, a guy like Cece should enjoy it, and he does nail his Yorkers. He had a bit of a no ball problem the last time he played in PE against the Warriors in the One Day Cup, bowling from the Park Drive end. Um,
Hmm.
so and that's actually the uphill end. So that's usually where they put you to stop you bowling the no balls. Um, they've done that before. I swear to God, they say you switch ends. Don't bowl downhill. Don't bowl downhill. There is a hill. Not
Hmm.
like East London hill, but the hill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's not as bad as one match where somebody bowled about 13 no balls in an innings.
Jeez, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it switched ends as well. I won't say which player. It was
Okay,
quite a
good.
while ago.
Don't out them.
Yeah, but back to normal cricket now. Um, and yeah, as you mentioned on the bowling front, um, Keshav
Yeah.
he was very impressive.
Hmm.
Um, oh,
I think you're getting a call. Okay, I'm gonna mute this along and continue talking. Yeah, on the bowling front as well, there's been quite a few people that have been excellent as well. But no, I wouldn't say to the degree as the batters necessarily. I think it was the batters kind of weekend when it comes to this particular tournament. And it's all cool. Kelly, don't worry about it. It happens. Ashwani asking me, how's the power cuts in South Africa? It's terrible. Stage 6 and 5 at the moment. So, like last night, I had from 6 till 10, and tonight I'm got lucky today. I got very lucky today because I'm only getting later tonight as another wicket falls. Mutasami is now out as well. Look, you guys, I'm also a little bit delayed on the stream. So Markram getting a wicket. My boy, go with these things. Do these things and skip. So well done to Markram over there. We're doing a little watch along while we are actually also talking about the game. Hey Khalid, hey Kelly. Have they gone off? I assume that it was a drinks break. It was a drinks break, and we've got our friend with us. Boy, yes, brother, in the dark.
As I'm in the yeah.
Ashwani was just asking us about the power cuts. Explain how it is in Joburg.
So obviously it's Wednesday 6. So we have two sets of 4-hour power cuts. So I'm in the second half of that.
Oh,
I'm in
my
the second
Lord.
set. So mine went off at 6 and I'll be back at 10. It's a
Yeah,
mess.
it's a mess. I mean, I'm lucky this time around because the last night I had from 6 till 10, but
Mhm.
tonight I get I think only at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then the rest of the power cuts are tomorrow, and I'm in Paul, so it's great for me.
Bring back some
Yeah,
wine.
yeah, for you, man. They're still on. They're playing currently. There was a wicket that fell, guys, this recently. Saduna Mutusami for the guys that want to update on the game. Kelly's
Mutusami.
apologizing. Yeah,
Oh yes, he's
Mutusami from
playing.
yeah, he's playing. Yeah. So was only on a break. Yes, so it was a drinks break. Nice. How about Markram for captaincy? Paul knows that I want him as captain. I don't know. Paul has a different viewpoint. I wanted to ask you from the short
Mhm.
list that was released,
Yeah.
the leaked short list. Who is
Yeah.
your choice for the captains? Because we know they're going to. I mean, not captains for coach.
Coaches.
They're obviously going to split the roles. We
Mhm.
know that. So who would you pick out of that short list? I can read it out to you if you
Uh
don't remember the names.
I don't remember names, but Tim sent it to me. Hold up. Where's my phone?
Yeah,
Can't find my phone. Anyway.
I'll read it.
Uh
I'll read it to you
yeah.
now. I've got it here somewhere. Let me just find it quickly. Okay, so it is. Where is it? Um, Mali,
Mhm.
Burrell,
Mhm.
Shooks, Pybus, and Rob Walter. Between those
Tim
guys.
wants Rob Walter back. I'm like, no, no, it can't be. To me, it's yeah, that's the problem. Like, I'd go with Adrian Burrell, for the longer format, and I'd go with Mali for the shorter one. But even then, I want Shooks in there, but I don't want to take Shooks out of other under 19s and that setup. So unless if you bring Shukri up and send Mali to under 19s, because I think Mali's good with developing
Youngsters.
players
Mm.
and younger players. So for me, that's where I'm at, and like that list doesn't give me much. But Richard Pybus can work mentally with the guys, which is nice. Rob Walter same way, but they haven't been in South African cricket for like 6 years. So we're bringing guys who haven't played, and my surprise is Wandi's not on the short list. Imran Khan is not on the short list. Robbie P, but obviously there's a lot of those guys who are disenfranchised by South African cricket. So I'd even give Jeff an opportunity out of those five, because yeah, but it's the five we have, so we have to work with
Mm.
them.
Mhm.
Rob Walter, Richard Pybus have international experience, so I don't know what else they're going to bring
Yeah.
to South African cricket. Whereas if you give someone like Mali, he's young. He hasn't played, he hasn't had the experience, but he can grow with this team for 2 years. He can build a brand. He can build this team into identity. And we forget Mali only coached for 1 year before Otis pulled him out. And in that year, the Warriors were very good. They weren't like scrubs. They got to
Mm.
a few finals. I think he
Yeah.
won one. He was like the hottest young coach at
I
the
think.
time, even
Yeah, I
though the
think
Lions were
they
winning.
shared a trophy, didn't they?
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So
The Dolphins, I think.
I'd
I
like
can't
for
remember.
someone for us to give Mali like 2 years, like even one World Test Championship
Yeah.
cycle, and see what he can do
Yeah.
with a rebuilding young squad. And if you're gonna go young, from a team perspective, like with the Brevises and the Markrams and the I don't know who else is young, Stubbs and all those, whichever format you're going young at, give Mali that job. So
Mm.
if it's ODIs or T20s, you want to go young there, Mali takes a job. If it's a test team, Mali takes a job. But I don't think Mali takes over a team where Dean Alga's still captain, and we saw that
Mm.
in Australia. I wouldn't want him to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Me personally, I said I would have dropped the two coaches because it's pointless having two coaches, I think, because
Mhm.
obviously we play so little test cricket, and I would have made Shukri
Yeah.
coach. And the reason is from the conversations and you know what made me realize, I was sitting with him at Saks yesterday and chatting
Mm.
to him because his son is at Saks. And
Yeah.
I was chilling with him, chatting to him, and they're obviously playing in the Peninsula tournament at the moment. And the way he thinks about the game from a conditions perspective, from an attacking perspective, understanding that this, each player
Mm.
differently. For me personally, I would have probably gone with him. I would go with him probably as both coaches. But if for me personally, if I had to pick two, I would make Shukri white ball coach, because I think that
Mhm.
with a young team that we're building currently, a lot of the older guys are probably out. Like, I don't think how I don't think Rousseau is going to last very long. Based on the way he plays, it's 100 duck, 100 duck. Even today, he shouldn't have had the 4 runs. You would have been out for a duck. That was a bad fielding.
Look,
Bad fielding.
I'd be okay dropping Riley and bringing Devilton. I'd be okay.
Yeah,
I'd
100%.
be
Me
comfortable
too.
with that.
I'm so happy you saying that, my boy.
No, but so here's my idea with Devilton.
After that piece,
is
you
that
have to.
I know he's going to fail, and that's always been my big issue, right?
It's
If
normal.
he fails on the international stage, are we going to drop the guy, kick him out the side, and let him go back to domestic cricket? Or are you going to say, Devalt, you've got, I don't know how many, you've got 5 years on the side, have the best run. This first 5 years of Devilt's career, from 20 to 25, is him setting himself up for the next 10, 25 to 35, where he's going to rack up 20,000 runs. He's going to score as many runs. But in the first 3 to 5 years, he needs to learn his game.
Yeah.
He needs to be like Steve Waugh, take away the short ball, play the easy shots that he knows, learn about different parts of the world, different types of bowling, and then from 25 onwards, that's when I'm going to require Devalt Brevis to show us who Devalt Brevis is. Yeah. And I want him in the side now because I think it's the best way for him to learn while failing, because cricket's a failure game inherently, right? Yeah. So I want him to travel the world and fail, because he scores 162 against the Knights. There's nothing more he can learn here.
Yeah. So for me,
even in the Red Bulls side, I wouldn't mind him for the West Indies carrying drinks, being in the setup, talking to the guys. Learning about how he can, because everyone's worried about the short ball, right? But in Test cricket, you can run away from it, you can duck. And Steve Waugh said that when he started playing cricket for Australia at 21 or 2, whatever it was, he was trying to pull and do all these things, and then he got to a point after like 6 months where he's like, okay, let's take the short ball out. We're not going to play it. We're going to duck it. We're going to leave it. And then he started, that's when Steve Waugh, the legend itself, and the 10,000 runs that he scored, he went through. So for me, it's Brevis, it's Ricks, it's Stubbs, it's and Riley can sit. Even Faf. Like now, where does Faf come in? Faf will know, like surely now we're like, okay, fine. There's no need for Faf. We're no longer fighting for him. We're now fighting for Devalt to be in the side. And that's what I hope Victor and the selectors are thinking about. Even with like a guy like Jordan Hanuman, right? A guy like Jordan Hanuman should be playing around, should be 14th man for the West Indies, right? I think Tony should start, but Jordan should be around there. And with Jordan, the conversation is you're going to be around for 2 years. You'll play when injuries happen. But your job is to be here for 2 years, to be there when you have a Rickleton, Brevis, Jordan Hanuman kind of a core. And hopefully then Aiden will have figured out whatever ghosts he's seeing. And then you have a core 4 of that's pretty much unstoppable. And you add KP to that's a top 5 that you can even play in ODI cricket. Obviously, KP might go away. You can bring in Tony DeZorzi. You can do all of that. But that's where the selectors should have. Like if I'm Victor or Patrick Moroney, in my room, I've got a board and I have a top 5. And it's a top 5 of those kids, like mix and match with different players and whatever it is, and you're moving guys out. But to a certain extent, that's how I see us going forward. And the question is for West Indies, I keep Dean until
talking Test cricket, yeah.
And then in December, Dean no longer is captain. You have a new captain, depending on who you want. It could be Tembak or whoever, but it's the new captain and the kids. And we start the new World Test Championship from there. Yeah. And you give those guys a 2-year run to see if they can't make it to the World Test Championship final.
Doesn't that sound like deja vu to you, though? Didn't I say this?
We didn't do it here.
Didn't I say this time 2 years ago?
You did, but Graham and Mark wanted to win.
Yeah, in all of this crazy. They didn't win. So it's weird. But like, I mean, in T20, I think they was ready, in my opinion. I've said it for a while now. I think
even in ODIs.
ODIs, I think he still needs some time, in my opinion, I think, because I think in ODI cricket, but that's why I want Shukri to be the white ball coach. And it's because he understands how to read. He understands how to teach players to read conditions and to mold their games. And that's why I want Mali to be the test coach, because I feel the test team needs a revamp. We need to develop our youngsters and get them into the team and build a team unit, because in test cricket you can do so. You're building team ethos. It's a lot more about team ethos and togetherness, Ubuntu.
Okay, so opening your ODI side for the Netherlands, you have an option because Quinny's there. You have an option of Temba, Reza, Yaneman, Devo Brevis. Who are you picking? Because
As the opener
yes,
with Quinny.
everything stays the same. So there's Miller, there's Tristan Stubbs, there's everyone else
But
after that is
is this
fine.
ODI or T20 now you're talking about?
The Netherlands ODI.
Because Tristan, okay, I mean, Tristan hasn't really necessarily been pushed into
Tristan
the
Stubbs
ODIs
should be
for
playing. He
Yeah, he
averaged
should
16
be.
in the One Day Cup. Like
he should be playing, in my
he should
opinion
be
as
in
well.
there.
Yeah.
You know.
Donovan
So my
Vereda is
thing
also
is
doing
this.
brilliantly. So
Yes, he has. So the question for me is, outside of Reza, the other names I named, Deerveld can be better. Can come
captain, my
in
captain.
above him.
Captain, my captain, 2 wickets, brother. Captain, my captain.
Where's Rulof? Where's Rulof on the Mava? Why is Aiden take wickets? Where is Rulof?
Okay, so you do ask me a question about the ODI team.
So,
for me,
Going
Quinny,
forward, because we know you're going to, I understand you're going to the World Cup, right?
Quinny and Deervald for me. Open.
So why not?
Go for it.
Or like, why can't we do that now?
Do it. Go ahead. I would
And
like.
then
That's why I
everything else
want
stays
someone.
the same.
The reason I like Shukri the way he thinks is because he doesn't have sentiment when he picks players. There was I don't know if you know about the story. There was a specific game where Callis and them came back and he dropped them and played a youngster, and the youngster went to go win them a trophy. He has the balls to be able to tell a player, you know what, you're getting dropped. I don't care what your ego is. I don't care who you are. I'm the coach. And I like that attitude. That's why I like Eric Ten Hag so much. It's because they have that attitude and it's not arrogance, but it's authority. I like authority, and I think our
There's a
youngsters
confidence.
they need that authority.
Yeah.
But so let's
so
move on.
essentially that's what it is. And my only issue is I think South Africa is finding themselves in a situation where they were in 2001. Obviously Australia had taken them out, but then you have the new era that was starting. You know, obviously they're 2 years away from the Graham Smith era beginning. But in there, you've got Callis in that 2001 side getting taken to the cleaners, but you could see that there's a talent. You've got Polly there still. And obviously, you still had the old guard, the Daryl Cullinans, the John Tees that still had to go, but you still had guys like Gary Kirsten who are going to play in a big role coming into the next era. And I think we are there right now. The question is, how do you get those kids into the side? Similar to how AB de Villiers in 2005 walked into the side and he changed the game. Hashim Amla came into the side in the same time and the game changed and the team became a world-class team. You're starting to see that starting to pick up. The problem is that we're still trying to hold on to the old guard. And I think for now, going forward, and the great thing about cricket now is that it gave you 2-year cycles, right? If we didn't have a World Test Championship, we'd probably be carrying Dean up until Pakistan at the end of the year. And I don't think necessarily we want to, but to a certain extent, yes, for West Indies, is fine. But it may be time to give those generational talents an opportunity to thrive. And that's what I did with the article with on Brevis. From an eye test perspective, this kid is just as good as AB de Villiers. He's just as good, not better, maybe even not better than Quinton de Kock at that age. We threw Kagiso in straight out of high school, threw him in there. We threw Vian Mulder in there straight after high school. Why can't we do it with this kid? Because this kid is like watching Messi. This kid's going to be Graham Smith's meal ticket in SA20 for the next 10 to 15 years. Why not? And if he does fail, it's a simple thing of, oh no, you need to go back to first class cricket and learn. That's an easier conversation than having the conversation you're having with Aiden right now. Much easier. And so to a certain extent, that's where I'm at. I'm like, okay, I understand with any other young kid, yeah, give them time. But this kid's different. He is completely different. And it's funny that every time I went to Centurion to watch him, he never gave me that. But then when I had to go to bloody Cape Town to get a show from him. So yeah.
Best city in South
It's like
Africa, man. What you talking about?
no, but like remember the first time you watched Messi play and you're like, who's this guy? What is for me it was Ronaldinho. When I watched Ronaldinho, I was like, what? You can do that?
Oh my God. The first time I saw Ronaldo play for me, exactly. And also, I mean, it was different with Ronaldo, but I mean, because he was a lot more skillful doing a lot more tricks when I saw him. But the first time I saw Ronaldo, Zidane, the first time I saw Zidane play, my mind, and I was young,
Exactly.
but I was like, what is this? I was like,
that's what it is. And
in slow motion, guy. It's slow
Yeah.
motion. Killing people in slow motion. That was unbelievable.
and that's what
Sorry.
that's what Devil is.
Yeah, that's what is that generational talent. And I agree with Kelly 100%. It's almost like she's in my mind. They need to pick a core group of young players, absolutely stick with them, back them, and give them proper chance. There are some definitive talents out there. There is.
Mm.
That's my point. Is that I think a lot of us are a little bit scarred by the past and scarred by failures that have come in and out. We thought we're going to be big names. But when you look at a player, you need to look at it differently. You need to look at certain aspects of them that maybe is not very visible to the public eye. It's not only about the technique and scoring runs. How do they carry themselves? How do they think about the game? How mature are they? How humble are they about it? And the guys that we're talking about, the Donovan Ferreiras, the Deva Brevises, the Tristan Stubbses, etc. They're all very grounded people at a very young age. The moment I met Tristan for the first time when he played Kaya Majolo Week, I already picked it up then that this boy has a mind that's different to the others. You speak to kids and you're speaking to a professional. It felt like that. It was chalk and cheese between the two. Ronaldinho was a freak as well, like Ashwani said, because when I saw him for the first time as well, I was mind blown, bro. Like wow. When he did that bloody that crossbar challenge, I was like, what the hell? I was like, what's this?
So here's the thing, right? Tony DeZorzi. So I think Kelly's got a comment here about the core batsman, right? Why can't, here's an idea, maybe Victor's listening or whoever's Enoch's listening, right? Fly DeZorzi, Rickleton, Stubbs, Brevis, Harman. I'm going to add Eddie Moore in there because we need an opener and I like him.
I also like him a lot.
Marco Janssen as well, fly him up. And Vian Mulder, right? And you sit them in the room.
I want Mapuana to get a chance, bro.
He's not
so
time.
Good.
I've got another plan for black players. Don't worry. I've got another plan for black players. But you bring them to CSA offices, new coach, new captain, director of cricket, and you sit them down and say, the 7 of you guys, or however many of you guys, you're the core of our 3 formats. Yes. You may not play all of them, but you are the core of what we want to do. This is the type of cricket we want to play across all 3 formats. You are going to be the face of our game. And we're going to try give you all the support you need because we understand that you are all learning in international cricket. You'll all have things that you need to fix and everything else, right? And we are backing you as a 7 to be the guys to take us forward in the next 5-6 years, right? And yes, you may fall in and out, you get injured, whatever it is, but know that we will be backing you. And yes, runs is your currency and like every other job, but you're the guys we are earmarking, we're the guys who are going because we've identified the talent that you have to be world-class batters, right? Then that's what you do. Then you take those 7, you bring Kwagiso in, you bring probably even Timber in there. If you still want to keep Timber, I don't know, depending. Maybe even Anrich or Cash, whoever you guys want to bring. And then you then tell them and say, these will be the guys who are guiding you. You will give you all support you need. Even try get former players, get Hash in there, get guys in there to kind of talk to them, to kind of guide them through. Because what's going to be more important the next 2 years if you do that is that those guys don't feel like that this isn't their level, even if they will fail, and they will fail. But the situation is that you want them to know that even if they do fail, they can call a Hash, they can call a Mornay Morkel in Australia and wake him up and say, "Hey, Mornay, I don't know what I did this morning, but can you help me?" And to a certain extent, that's what I'm hoping SA20 becomes, right? And to a certain extent, in that situation, I'm okay with you guys making Aiden captain, and you say, Aiden, you're going to be on the back. These kids are going to carry you, and all you need to do is there's no pressure. All you need to do is lead them and is be their leader. And if that's the case, and it's the same argument I gave for Timber at the World Cup, that sometimes you just need someone to take the leadership mantle of everyone else and allow everyone to play free. Maybe Aiden's that guy for this next generation, rather than Aiden being the guy who's going to score the hundreds. He's going to score the runs. He's going to score runs, but the need for him to step up is now not there. It's put on these kids. All he needs to do is get the best out of these kids. And that's why the Sunrisers team is an example of what maybe I'm thinking CSA should do with all these youngsters. The Hadmans, but Jordan Hadman's not there yet. His name was scratched off at the bottom. But we've got Marco Jansen, you've got Tristan Stubbs. You can see if Aiden can lead these guys, then possibly it's an opportunity for you to have something like that going forward across all three formats. And yeah, you see how it goes. And then for the black players, before I go, you need to have a tour at the end of the year, at the end of the season, even now. The New Zealand have the Maoris, right? The Maori team that you have to have Maori descent to make the team, right? Just have a black team. You can call them whatever you want to call them, but have a black team of 15 guys who travel to England and play the counties in England before the season starts, or even during the season, right? Take them to India to play the Ranji teams. Take them to Australia to play these guys. And it's a known thing, right? So you add in the Michalis, you take Gashile there, you give Spinella Makanya an opportunity to lead the side. Luto goes inside there to give them a little bit of quality, and then you play it like that. And then it's a known thing. So it's not you're separating, right? And then hopefully you'll be able to then get guys to be better. Because my biggest cry is that what's the difference between white cricket and black cricket? White cricket's got all these support systems and all these avenues that they can run through, right? Black cricketers don't necessarily have that. That type of a setup gets you there.
Yeah. And I said it
like
before,
for a white coach, not a black coach, to lead the side.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yes.
Because I mentioned it before, Paul. A lot of the black African players, they are first generation, second generation cricketers, whereas white players are 5, 6, 7 generation, and colored players, majority third, fourth generation cricketers, and some of them maybe 1 or 2, but majority of the time, their fathers, their friends, their uncles would have played cricket. There was colored cricket was very strong back in apartheid, actually.
Yes.
So when it comes to black Africans, a lot of them, they don't have a father, uncle, or cousin who has played cricket before. They're introduced to it when they get introduced to it for the first time. So a lot late in their life. So you asking a black African to compete with a 100-meter sprint, you're asking him to start at the 800-meter mark ultimately.
Yeah.
And the colored player to start at the 400-meter mark, and the white players are already at the finish line. So that's the difference between. That's the difference between the caliber. I want to put it in an analogy.
So that's the intervention I'd put in, and then I'd ask for them to the targets need to still stay there, but relax them. So if you can't field a black player and you don't want to do the whole "thanks for coming" award, you are allowed to explain it, and it's not a big thing, right? Because in corporate South Africa, if you can't meet a target, you have to explain why. So then teams must explain. But I think CSA has just gone on a hard line over the years trying to do that. And so for me, that's where I think we'd have to tweak it a little bit. But my big worry, and I told you this on Tuesday,
yes, it's
still a problem seeing these teams not field one black African. That bothers me to the core. Yeah, I was happy JSK did that yesterday with Saboto and Pangiso, but like it's a really big issue for me, because how do you get the black communities involved in this game rather than thinking of them as charity? That's what the the development argument is. You're effectively saying, no, that's the charity argument. I want you to focus on them. I want them to feel as though, no, we're not just some afterthought. And to a certain extent, that's where this tournament kind of misses the boat. And I could see Graham wants to do it, but his hands were tied at the auction. And to a certain extent, it's going to hurt, because it's bringing the traditional cricket supporter back into the game, but it's ostracizing the supporter that you actually want, and the people that you actually want to play the game. And so yes, there'll be black kids who will be inspired watching these guys play bat. I love the West Indians growing up, so I used to always support the West Indians because they look like me. But yeah, like that's like, dude, like it was so simple. I was like, but that's what it was,
by that
right?
mindset, I should be supporting India.
I don't know.
I looked up
but
to
yeah.
Herschel Gibbs.
But
I
that's
don't,
my
nothing like
thinking
Herschel
around
Gibbs.
I think I should support England then.
Anyway, Paul, thanks a lot for coming on, bro. I'm just
Sure.
going to speak to Stuart a little bit before I do the ticket giveaway. I know a lot of people are tuning in for that. I'll chat to you soon, bro, when you have normal light again as well. Oh,
Yes.
and also maybe think about writing a piece on that. I like that viewpoint. If you want to take some time with it, just have a mill.
Okay. I'll think about it.
Live on the show. No,
Yeah.
I'm just joking with you
I'll
guys.
think about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Thank you, Paul.
Cheers.
Okay, cool. Stewie, it's your turn. Take it away, bro. Who are the players that really inspired you, impressed you? You wrote an excellent piece, guys. Please go read it on cricketfanaticsmag.com. I'll put the banner on the page. You're gonna be seeing a lot of Stewart's writing. There's a piece that he wrote that is excellent, that I'm just waiting for the right time to post. In between all this hype and stuff with SA20, he did a nice comparison, and I want to post it at the right time. I'm keeping it for a good magazine as well. So just go read these pieces. He's going to be doing some coverage, obviously, of the games in Centurion, etc. So please read these pieces and go to cricketfanaticsmag.com. Stuart, which innings first and foremost impressed you the most? Was it Donovan? Was it Quinny? Was it Ryan Rickleton? Was it Dewald Brevis? Which one impressed you the most so far?
I don't know why, but I actually liked Carl May's innings quite a lot last night.
From a South African perspective, I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Sorry. Okay, out of the South Africans, I'd probably have to say I like Donovan Ferreira's innings quite a lot. And I thought he used the pace of the ball quite well. And I thought he played, especially his shots towards third man, when I think it was Dwayne Pretorius was bowling those wide Yorkers. I thought it was like smart cricket shots. And when he hits, when he went down on one knee and played it over mid wickets for 6, I thought he played like really smart attacking cricket, and he consistently kept his strike rate high. But yeah, I'm also a big Dewald Brevis fan as well. So I was also very impressed with his knock, and I thought he played Shamsi quite well the other night. So, and a few of the other bowlers, to be fair. But I was quite shocked at both of them.
I think the thing that probably impressed me the most about Dewald's innings was the fact that he took them over the line in a chase. I think that was big, because a lot of the times you'll see, like even Donovan, for the Titans, there was a time when he was really batting well, and he had to just take them over the line to win the match, and he couldn't do it. He went out. So like I don't think people understand how difficult that actually is, to chase and then still get a good score, be entertaining, on top of it, take your team over the line and be the man of the match at 19 in front of a packed house. It's like that type of stages are meant for Dewald Brevis. When there are lights and there's fans around the stadium and it's packed and stuff, that's what makes him thrive even more, I feel. I see a glisten in his eye when he walks out to the middle. So I saw a similar type of vibe when there when there was a crowd at the Cubs week. When I first, I think it's the second time I saw him play live. At Cubs week, the day that it was packed and there was a lot of people watching, the guy put on a massive performance. He was hitting the ball through all parts. And on the days when it's a little bit quiet, sometimes he goes a little bit into his shell. So I like the fact that he can bat when the pressure's on, because that's a mental game thing that we need in World Cups, for example. So because it's that one aspect that we fail is taking that next step.
Yeah.
So what so with regards to bowlers, who are some of the bowlers maybe from a South African perspective that have interest you?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah, I thought.
'Cause it's been a batters tournament so far.
Yeah, I haven't been watching the Capitals, the game against Sunrisers. I literally just got home, so I don't know what's
Yeah.
been going on.
So it's 139 for 5. Salt scored a 60 and Nisham's on 31. Markram's got 2 wickets. Marco Jansen's got 1. And Magala's got 1.
Oh, okay. So it's actually, yeah. I'm quite shocked. Like yesterday, I was quite shocked at Reza Hendricks, his bowling, because although he didn't take any wickets, I thought he bowled quite well, especially to Quinton de Kock. I thought Alzari Joe's. Well, I know you wanted a South African perspective, sorry, but his death bowling was quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and,
I like him. I'm a big fan of his, actually.
Yeah, and it said right arm fast medium, and I was expecting, this oak's just going to be touching 140s, like early 140s. And then I saw 150. I was like, how can you say he's a fast medium?
Yeah, they're crazy. I mean, when I spoke to the Caribbean podcast, they were back in when we were doing a lot of the West Indian series, etc. They came onto the show. Some of the main guy actually came onto the show, their host, and we spoke long and lengthy about Azari Joseph and what he is capable of. So I was surprised when I saw that too.
Yeah, and from the South African perspective, I thought also Sir Brian bowled quite well last night from what I watched. It was my cousin's birthday the night the Paul Royals played MI Cape Town, so I didn't get a chance to really watch it live.
That's all good.
I saw the highlights, so I didn't really see who bowled quite well. But it's been quite interesting to see, like, the wickets haven't looked like they seaming and swinging that much. Like, it looks like it's quite spinner friendly wickets from what I saw. Like last night, it was spinning quite a bit. But I definitely, I was just when I got home, I just quickly jumped in the shower and I was listening to you and Paul chatting about the young players. I definitely agree with what you guys are saying. I know I always use the analogy of England in 2005 in the Ashes, but I think we need to stop going with the tried and tested route of these guys who are consistently not performing. And I know you and I keep chatting about, we need to select young players, and I try my best not to come across as being like an ageist type of person. But I think the best way that you get rid of mental baggage is you get people in the setup who haven't got mental baggage. And I was thinking about it earlier today, and I think Bacha was chatting about AB and one of those in conversation videos that they did with Ali Bacha, and Mark Bacha said one of the best things about AB was when he started touring Australia, he didn't have the mental scarring of guys like Callis, Bacha, the guys who'd been there before and been demolished by Shane Warne and all those guys. So I know we said it the other day with the Test cricket, but I think it almost needs to start being applied across the formats. We need to start selecting guys who have got the talent. And I think you and Paul hit the nail on the head with your guys like Brian Rickleton, Tony DeZorzi, Jordan Herman. And the thing is as well, I thought, I can't remember which episode we discussed this. I know I'm going back to Test cricket as an example, but if you look at our future tours program, let's say just for Test cricket, there's a lot of teams that aren't playing Test cricket that we can organize fixtures against to at least introduce these guys to international cricket. So you could play matches against Ireland. I mean, Ireland's got a good team, and I think they'd love to come to here and play a test. I can't remember off the top of my head who. I think Zimbabwe. I don't know if they're in the Test Championship or not. So yeah, I think we just need to get rid of the I don't know, not dead weights, but I think we just need to figure out who's actually not just performing with the bat, but we just need to figure out who's not adding value to the environment. And yeah, my only concern is I'm also a huge Aiden Markram fan, like you and Paul.
Paul, not so much.
Oh, sorry, I thought Paul. Sorry, because I thought he was saying no, Markram must be the captain, so I assumed he was.
But I think he's changing his mind. I think we've started to change his mind a little bit on Aiden and on Dewald and some of the guys. So maybe we're turning him around on the good side.
Sorry, I assumed that he was. But yeah, I think if Markram is going to be the captain, and I know Kelly's mentioned it quite a bit in the chat, that he must bat up the order. But I don't know. I don't see where we actually put him in, because a lot of people have a lot of differing opinions, and like with a lot of valid justifications. Like I know some people say you should go in at 3, some people say no, you should bat at 4. I personally think he's done well opening the batting in red ball cricket, and I don't know about one-day crickets, because when I watched the Titans the other day, he came in at 4.
Yeah.
And Brevis opened. I thought maybe when they played the Lions, I think it was in the opening game. I think maybe in tests and one-day crickets, maybe he should face a new ball. And I think because he could do well in the power play of a one-day to get his one-day numbers up. But I definitely think out of the candidates that's being mentioned, he is one of my favorites. My only concern with Markram coming into captain is I don't know if we I don't know if we give him all 3 formats, because I think it's a lot of pressure to put on him, and given his issues with his form lately, I think it's a lot to just expect him to just come back in and immediately captain all 3. So I don't know.
I think he can handle it.
Yeah. Well, I think
knowing him as a person, I think he can handle it. Having spoken to him, he does seem ready for it.
Okay. Well, I know you're a fan of Shukri Conrad getting. I think I saw last night you saying you think Shukri should get it. I don't know the relationship between Aiden and Shukri Conrad. So would you mind? I don't know how well they actually get on. So I think as long as he's got a coach there that he knows, and I think Shukri Conrad, from what I've seen and from what you've told me, I think he is the best, one of, if not the best candidates for the job. And as Kelly said the other night, you don't need to split the coaches if we're not playing a lot of Test cricket.
Yeah, that's my concern, is that they're splitting the roles, of course. So that's my concern, but we know they are. So it was already announced. Enoch came on my show during the World Cup, our Women's World Cup launch, and he told me that they're splitting the roles. So we know there's going to be 2 coaches. I'm just concerned about who's going to be who. Aiden just took a marvelous catch. This guy's a captain and a half, man. What you talking about? Okay, guys. Stuart, thanks a lot. I need to do this draw before my computer just dies out.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Cool, bro. I'll see you again very soon. We'll probably have a show again very soon. Cheers, bro.
Cheers. Bye.
Okay, so guys, just to give a quick announcement, we are giving away the tickets only for tomorrow's game. We will talk about the draw for Friday. They are still working out whether we are going to get tickets for the Friday game, and I only found out that a couple of hours ago. So please just make sure that you guys are clued into our social media. We will let you know if the game, not on Friday game, sorry, the Saturday game. We are still trying to confirm whether we're going to get tickets for the Saturday game. Don't worry, I'll keep the post up there. And then the people that have entered already are already entered into the raffle. So I'm not going to delete the post and stop. If we don't get any tickets for that, I will make an announcement and tell you guys, sorry guys, I'll keep you guys I'll make sure that I do something for you guys in the future, maybe. But we're going to only be giving the tickets away for the Betway SA20, courtesy of Betway. We're going to be giving away the tickets for tomorrow's games. So I'm going to start off with the PAL game first and foremost. I've got the names already. Oh shit, but I didn't share the screen with you. Let me just share the screen with you first. We're doing it a little bit different than we normally do it. I'm using a different program because there's a lot more names to deal with, and I don't think the other wheel can deal with the names for the second round of the people that have entered. The question that I've asked was how many World Cup winners are in the PAL Royal squad. The answer was three. Three England World Cup winners, one ODI format, and the two T20 World Cup guys. Here are the entries that have won. I mean, none have won that have entered the draw. Let's see who wins the first set of tickets. Let's draw this. Dylan Verena. I think this is Carl Verena's brother, actually. So well done. You've won tickets to the game in PAL. I will contact you on social media to confirm that. So well done to you. Let's. I think he gets removed automatically. Let's draw the second one. Cool, Jono Adams. I think that's how you pronounce it. You've won it. Two tickets. It's two tickets for each person, guys. So please just make sure about that as well. I'm making a big mess up on this thing. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I'll sort it out later. Okay, let's see who is the next winner on the show. Let's draw again. Okay, I know this guy by association. So well done to you for winning two tickets as well. Charles, congratulations. I know I'm going through this quickly, guys, because I have to do the other draw as well, which is a hell of a lot of names. So I'm just trying to get through this quickly. This is obviously for the PAL game, guys, just to remember. JD Peterson, congratulations. I will contact you on social media to make sure that you get your two tickets. That's there. And the final one for this draw is boom, 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 boom. Sean Bailey, congratulations. Well done. Those are the winners for the game again for at the PAL Royals' game in Borland Park that have won tickets over there. So let's move on. I'm going to be deleting the rest. Let's put on the next set of names that have a chance to win tickets. And it is for the game on Friday between my Cape Town and Durban Super Giants. There are a hell of a lot of people that entered this one. There was a little bit of confusion about this one because I asked the question about Deva Brevis. How many times did we interview Deva Brevis on our show? So people misread it a little bit, and a lot of people said 4 because we've interviewed him separately and then 3 times on the show. So we got that a little bit. Some people got mixed up with that. So I've given people the opportunity. I've given them the benefit of the doubt. The people that said 4, I put on there, and the people that said 3 as well, I put on here. But there are a lot of people that said 6, 7, crazy numbers like that. There are some press conferences and some other things that have been posted from Deva, but it wasn't interviews by me. So that's where you guys lost out on it. And I'm sorry that you guys have not been entered into the draw. These are the only names that have been entered. And these are the guys that have gotten the correct answer. I mean, so let's go for this one. Let's see who wins the first tickets. Sureich, well done, Sureich. You've won tickets to the show. For the game. Sorry, I mean, let me put that winners down here quickly. He's been trying to win for a long time, guys. So that's why I got excited. And I know he entered the competition, and I do know who he is. So let's go on the second winner. Boom, Yusuf Davids. Congratulations, you have won tickets to the game as well. This is the game on tomorrow, guys, at 5:30 at Newlands between MI Cape Town and DSG. I did get that correct, right? Is that one? Yes, it is. Let's go to the next name. Draw. Oh, Shabir Hanika, you have won tickets for the game. Congratulations. I've put you down over there as well. Two more guys, two more tickets to give away. I mean, four more tickets to give away. Mumtaz Adams, you have won tickets to the game. I'm putting you down as well. And then the last winner for today is Kelsey Adams. Congratulations for winning 2 tickets to the game between My Cape Town or MI Cape Town and Durban. It's actually Durban's Super Giants, guys. I didn't know that actually before. So Durban's Super Giants. Um, no, I mean, we didn't count under 19 World Cup. It's obviously, we're only speaking about Senior World Cup. Sorry, I didn't specify that. Sorry about that, Keenan. And Lungi didn't win that World Cup, by the way. Bosch and Andila did. So the answer would have still been wrong. Okay. Well done, guys. So the ticket winners that have won tickets to the show, to the game. Congratulations to all the winners. And that's the end of the show. I will contact you guys on social media to get your email addresses so that I can email you the tickets because it's digital. So thanks a lot for everybody for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please smash the like button, comment, share, subscribe, click the notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget to also smash the like button, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, what I'd like you guys to do is download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. And Tristan Stubbs is on the front cover, so please go ahead and look at that as well. Then I also would like you guys to become a patron if you want to help us grow and promote South African cricket. Please help us do that and also help us grow as a company too. That's very important as well. And also, guys, our writers are working really hard on articles to produce articles of their experiences, etc., at the grounds. So please go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Congratulations to all the winners. I will see you at the games. And look out for me in my black Cricket Fanatics Mag top. And come say hi and come talk to me. We're going to do some fan cams in the stadium. So please come and say hi. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you guys very, very soon. Oh, we're not doing a live daily show tomorrow because we'll be at both grounds. I'll be doing a daily show from one of the grounds, either Paul or from Newlands. So please stay tuned. It will be an upload and also behind the scenes of our experience. Peace out, everybody.